Well, in this 4 months I was studying, I was getting work clearing, which I wasn't allowed to. I was writing OWs. I was doing mess work.
Isn't this frustrating when you want to leave and for 4 months they're keeping you there?
I had the feeling that they just want to destroy myself. That I'm like that when I leave, I have no chance to survive. I mean, when I went back to Germany, my weight was 42 kilograms. Normally, if I would go to the doctor he would just send me to the clinic. You know, clinic? Hospital?
Right.
Kind of hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not
and
familiar with kilograms. So that made you painfully thin?
Yeah.
And yet no one there at the org suggested you go to a doctor or that you should be concerned?
No. I'm going to start crying.
Were you concerned about your health at that point?
Yeah.
Could you express that to anyone?
Well, I mean, to somebody who was there?
Yeah.
No.
It's because it's your fault.
I mean, I was like feeling for the past 4 months that I was going step for step to that point that I'm going to die.
You were wasting away emotionally and physically.
And it was like in this 4 months I was not allowed to talk to my parents.
You know, people from the outside who don't know Scientology, they ask, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you?
I was trying to leave. My aunt was coming over there. She's English and she's living in the UK, and she was visiting me, and she was waiting for an hour to see me till they found me, and she wanted me to come with her to go to drink a coffee. And at this point, when I wanted to go to in this car, in this point when I wanted to jump in the car, the security guys came and they just took me away.
They physically grabbed you and did not let you go.
No.
Where did they take you?
On my arms.
But they took
on
you
their
back.
shoulders, yeah.
Right. They took you back and locked you in a room.
They took me to security, and then I went to HCO, and they started to tell me that I have OWs, and I said I have no OWs. I can go on the emitter. I have no problems with it. I went on the emitter and had a floating needle.
Was your aunt still concerned that you?
She was concerned.
Did you find out later that people were trying to contact you?
The only thing I heard from my grandma, because I'm in contact with my grandma since about, I think, 3 weeks or something like that. She was the person who was helping me to get in contact with her, because all her sons and daughters, they're all in Scientology, except one person. So she went in contact with my grandma, and we did an appointment, and we saw each other, and she told me that my aunt was really concerned, and she wanted to find out what happened.
How long after this before you finally were able to get out? How long after this incident where they took you physically? Yeah. What happened?
Well, the security guards were everywhere. Wherever I went, the security guards were. When I was sleeping, the security guards were standing outside of the building and checking the windows, and in front of the door. One lady, she blew. 5 minutes later, they grabbed her and brought her back. So then I saw, okay, you have no chance to blow. You have no fucking chance. So I said then, okay, well, you just have to wait till they leave you.
What were you thinking? I mean, did this make any sense at all? That somebody wanted to leave and they couldn't?
Well, I didn't understand it because when I signed the contract, they told me if you want to leave, you can leave. There's no problem.
But that wasn't the case.
No.
So how did you get out?
How did I get out? The RTC office was telling the CMO that to do everything that I leave the Sea Org, because I'm danger for the Sea Org, that I'm danger for Scientology if I still stay in St. Hill.
So by that time they wanted you out.
Yeah. They were talking to my parents, and they were telling my parents that I'm going to come back to Germany. I was not allowed to talk to my parents all this 4 months, and they just told my parents, okay, listen, get a ticket for this lady tomorrow. She has to leave. We don't want her anymore. So my parents did this. They just organized the ticket. I came back. Just before I leave, just before I decided to leave Scientology was because my husband was homosexual, and I found that out after 4 months.
And you got married at what age?
18.
How old is he?
Pardon me? How old is he? 31. And he was on staff in Hamburg. Or he is on staff in Hamburg.
He still is?
He still is. So when I found that out, he told me he kicked me out of the apartment, and I started to drink, to go and party every single weekend, I was starting to take drugs, to take grass. I was smoking grass. And
you were still in Scientology?
No.
No, you had left.
Yeah, but not officially.
Okay.
And then I gave myself up as an American. When I was in the disco, I met somebody who is American, and some German guy who's now my boyfriend, and we are together since then. And he just like after some time, like ages and ages, my dad came to my boyfriend, and he said that I'm German, and he told the whole story. He wanted to take me and to punish me for everything. So, well, at the next day I came to a friend of mine who's a Scientologist. Maybe she's not a Scientologist anymore, I don't know. And they said, okay, well listen, if you go to the org, and if you go on ethics, and you do the ethics program they give you, you can live there, and we're going to support you on everything. Well, I did that, and then I got apartment, then I was living in Wedel, which is about 30 kilometers from Hamburg, and I just left everything. I left my parents, I left this lady, I left everything. And after some time, no, my boyfriend, I told everything my boyfriend about the Sea Org, about Scientology, about everything. So he told me, listen, you have got, there are two situations, me or Scientology. I said, listen, I don't want Scientology anymore. So he told me, I was calling Ingrid, she was the ethics officer from Hamburg org, and I told her, listen, I'm gonna leave Scientology, and I don't want to do anything in Scientology anymore, nothing. I don't want any calls, I don't want any mail, I don't want anything. So she told me, okay, give me this in writing. So I wrote everything down. I told her, listen, I didn't go to school. I have no opportunity to do anything so I can work properly. I had no real children. I don't know how you call that in English.
Childhood.
Yeah. So these are the reasons, and I put the other point. I mean, whatever happened in the UK, this point. So I sent her that. 4 days later, 3 or 4 days later, my parents were standing in front of my apartment, and my mom came in. My dad left again. He just had an appointment or something. And my mom told me, okay, well, whatever happened, she started to talk to me, and then she came to the point, why do you want to leave Scientology? I said, listen, I want to leave Scientology whatever happened in the UK, and I'm pissed about the situation. I didn't go